Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here, and in this video, we're actually going to be doing another tag video. I know, 2 tags in 1 week, like, I don't know, must be like Ragnarok coming or something. That's like pretty much never been done before on my channel. I was previously going to do another video, but I wanted to do it outside, and I had to work a little bit later, and it was dark and everything, and just wasn't going to work. But the show must go on, so we're going to be doing another video, and I just picked like kind of an easy one that I think I can run with pretty quickly. I apologize for my ear, especially my left one. My ears, like, I can tell they're like fire red right now from like, it's just like a previous medical thing. They sometimes like flare up and stuff. But anyways, like I said, the show must go on. I've been doing really good, being consistent with my videos, which basically, since I don't have any left, like pre-filmed, I gotta do one tonight so I can upload it overnight and have one out tomorrow. Of course, you know, when I say tomorrow, it'll be today for, well, yeah, I mean, technically it always will be today, but never mind. Just getting off the rails like I usually do. But anyways, in this video, kind of to go along with my New Year's book tag, I'm going to be doing the New Year's resolution book tube tag. This one was created by, I believe, Charlotte Frears. I'm not sure. I think she's taken the original video down, and I'm not really sure um, what's going on with her channel, but I'll leave a link to it down below. I wasn't tagged by anyone in particular with this one either. I just kind of saw this one floating around as well, and I thought it would pair nicely with the other one. Plus, I think this one is pretty quick, even though I've kind of rambled on for like 2 minutes already. I'm trying to hope and see if we can actually get a sub 10-minute video in for once. Not sure that, I pretty much doubt that's going to happen. But yeah, let's just get started right into it. All right, question number 1. What is an author you'd like to read in the next new year that you haven't read before? And I'm actually going with Adrian Goldsworthy, which is pretty weird. Because I think I got 2 of his books, and he's got like a dozen books. But the weird thing is he's got a ton of books on like ancient history, particular ancient Rome, and he's really highly regarded in like classical studies and stuff. So I'm not really sure why I haven't like read his books yet. I don't really have a good reason. So I think 2020 would be a good year to read it. And this one is The Fall of Carthage, the Punic Wars, 265 to 146 BC. And I've talked about this a little bit in the other videos. I almost have like about half a shelf of just Punic War books. It's probably my favorite period in classical history, or at least like in the Roman Republic kind of era, which is like probably my favorite other era in classical history. But anyways, I got this book, and then I have another one. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like In the Name of Rome, which is all just about like Roman generals and stuff. And then I think his most recent book was actually on Hadrian's Wall and stuff. But anyways, like I said, Adrian Goldsworthy is an author I need to start reading in kind of like Roman history that I don't have a good reason why I haven't been reading. All right, question number 2. What is a book that you'd like to read in the coming year? And I have The Nature Fix by Florence Williams. Why nature makes us happier, healthier, and more creative. If you guys have followed the channel, you know I'm all about the environment and animals, nature, and conservationism, all that kind of good stuff. And I kind of go along with like my nature walks and stuff. I think The Nature Fix is basically about why, like I said, or why the subtitle says being outside is just naturally healthier for human beings, as we are animals too, and everything, and kind of being indoors all the time just kind of like subconsciously like messes with our heads and stuff, I think, a little bit, and why, you know, it's just always good to get some fresh air and do things outdoors. And I think it's just going to be a really good read, and kind of reinforce some ideas I already have anyways. So yeah, just looking for a good time with The Nature Fix. Right, question number 3. What is a classic that you would like to read this year? I'm going with a reread, I guess, of the Odyssey. Actually, don't have a really good copy of the Odyssey that I like with like the translators I like. This is actually part of like a collection of Alexander Pope's works and stuff, and I have his Homer and Odyssey. But it's weird because they're both like 2 volumes. For whatever reason, they didn't make 1 volume because they have like a ton of footnotes and stuff. But anyways, I think I'm going with the Odyssey, and actually I might listen to the Odyssey. There is a new translation that I picked up on Audible in their like last like 2-for-1 sale or whatever. And I think it just came out like last year, and it's pretty highly regarded. So I'm just kind of like looking forward to actually like listening to the Odyssey, I guess, instead of reading it. Really love Homer. Haven't done a reread of the Odyssey since I don't know, it's probably been like 3 years, so I think it's about time to um, kind of revisit that and stuff. And yeah, that's why I'm going for a classic. I mean, this is like an ancient classic, but it's still a classic. All right, number four. What is a book that you would like to reread? I mean, I guess the Odyssey kind of is like a reread, though. Like I said, it'll be a different translation, so not like a pure reread, I guess. But for I really generally, besides like ancient primary sources, like the Odyssey or the Iliad or Polybius or whatever, I don't really do rereads. I think I've only reread like two books since starting BookTube, if that. Yeah, two books. And like probably the one I would do would be one that's already one of the ones I've reread, which would be like The Hobbit by Tolkien. I just think that's like one of the best books pretty much ever. So that would be probably one I would reread if I do a reread in 2019. Oh my gosh, I actually am going through these pretty good. I don't know if we'll still be under 10 minutes, but book number five. What is a book they've had for ages that you would want to read? And kind of going with another genre that I want to try and pick up some on a little bit more this year is philosophy. And this is The Story of Philosophy by Will Durant. And the Durants, Will and Ariel Durant, are probably best known for their like history of civilization or story of civilization. These books I have way up here on the top shelf, covering pretty much all of history, essentially. And there's like, I think, well, what is there? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's 11, and there might be a 12th one. I'm not 100% sure. But they made it from literally like, prehistory and ancient Sumer all the way to the age of Napoleon. So that's pretty good. But this was actually the book that allowed them to kind of do that whole series without, like working and stuff, because like the royalties and stuff from the Story of Philosophy was enough to kind of have them set for like life for stuff like that. I believe, if I remember reading that correctly at one point. And this is kind of just like a general overview of, the history of philosophy, as, the title it pretty much is, The Story of Philosophy. So, yeah, I think I haven't read just kind of an overview, like a systematic change, just kind of overview of philosophy since my undergrad years, so that's a long time ago. Like, what, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. And I really haven't just been reading a ton of philosophy, so I'm hoping this kind of sparks my interest again and making me kind of delve into like other thinkers and stuff that I kind of like pick up on as I read this one. All right, let's see. Number 6. What is a big book you would like to read this year? And I'm going with the second book in Ken Liu's Dandelion Dynasty series, and this one is The Wall of Storms. I really, 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 really love The Grace of Kings. I read that in 2018. It's like a blend of Guanzhou and Homer. It's like the Romance of Three Kingdoms meets like the Iliad. Just kind of the way he like writes it and stuff, and it's just like I said, the prose is just. I know it's not for everyone because it's kind of stilted. Probably isn't the right word, but it's kind. I don't know. I don't know if I want to say formulaic either, but I don't know. There's just once you read it, you'll understand, I guess, what I'm saying. But I really, really enjoyed it. The problem is the big sequels. I don't know. I'm not very good at finishing sequels, like series or sequels, and this one's like almost 850 pages. So we'll see if I actually get to it. But like I said, I really, really enjoyed the first one. Plus the cover on this one is pretty sick as well. So we will see if I get to the Wall of Storms. All right, number 7. What's an author you previously read and want to read more of? I got one here, and it's Adrienne Mayer. I read The Poison King, which is a history of Mithridates of Persia, of Pontus. I read this in 2018. Really, really enjoyed that. Mithridates is a really cool character, and she did a really good job with sort of the scholarship, but also making it readable and like a really cool narrative and everything. Just superb biography. But she has a couple other books that are really interesting. One's on like ancient archaeology, as in like what classical like Greek and Romans actually did for archaeology, and the kind of evidence, kind of like collating that together, which I think is kind of a neat idea. She has another one on, I think, like the Amazons, or like warrior women in ancient and classical history, which would be cool. And I think she has one other one. I can't remember. I think it's about like, I can't remember if it's on like cool technology that the ancients had and stuff, like kind of like their calculators and everything. I think that one I'm not 100% sure on, but she's got some really cool like niche ancient classical history books. And like I said, I really loved the Poison King, so I think I'll really enjoy the other ones as well. Number 7. What is an author? Oh my gosh, that's what I just did. Number 8. What is a book you got for Christmas or the holiday season and you would like to read? I only got 2 books. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw the 2 books the other day. And I'm going with Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teaching of Plants by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And as the kind of subtitle implies, this is going to be kind of like a blend of nature and science and like philosophy and like kind of like in Native American culture all like meshed together, which I really enjoy these kind of genre mashups, especially in the life sciences. I think it tends to work very well. And this is, I don't know, the book, once I heard about it, I kind of looked it up. I knew I wanted to read it. It's got really, really good reviews, pretty much everywhere. And like I said, it's just going to be, I think it's going to be kind of like a humbling book to read, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually probably a pretty good thing. And like I said, just really looking forward to reading Braiding Sweetgrass. Let's see, number 9. What is a series you would like to read, start to finish in this year? And I have absolutely no idea. I don't have anything to show you because I have only a couple series that I even own. That I know. Actually, I don't even. I think I might have like 1 series that I actually own start to finish that I haven't started. Maybe 2. And they're not ones like I'm really like, jumping aboard to go read and stuff. If I did have to pick, I do want to read a lot more Robin Hobb this year. So theoretically, I kind of want to get into like the Life Ship Traders, which is kind of, it's not a direct sequel to the first Farseer trilogy, but it's like kind of set in the same realm of the Elder Rings and stuff. But it just sounds like a really, really cool idea with kind of the nautical themes and, the ships that become alive and this and that. I think that would be the series I would start to finish for fantasy in 2020. If there is going to be a series from start to finish. And as like I said, I think since I started book 2, I finished, I want to say like 5 or 6 series like in 2 years. So it's not gonna happen. All right, let's see, 10. What is a series you would like to finish that you've already started? I got 2 selections for this one. For one that's like completely out, I would like to read The Autumn Republic, which is the 3rd book in the Powder Mage trilogy by Brian McClellan. I read the first 2 in the Powder Mage trilogy. Enjoyed them pretty good. And I've read the first book in the sequel trilogy, The Gods of Blood and Powder, and the first book was Sins of Empire, and I actually enjoyed that one even more, but I gotta read this one before I move on to that one. I read all 3 of those in 2018, so yeah, it's just about time I read this one so I can finish the other series as well. Really enjoy Flintlock Fantasy. It's probably my favorite subgenre of fantasy, and this is kind of like one of the like seminal go-to works in that pretty niche subgenre. So yeah, definitely need to get this one finished. Plus this one's an autographed one actually that my wife got me for Valentine's Day, as you can see. So that's pretty cool too. So I definitely need to get on that. Oh, and then for one that is a series that's not completely out yet, but I'm really, really looking forward to reading. This would be the 3rd installment in this series, and it's like kind of the last one that's actually out yet, even though there's going to be it's slated for more. And it's The Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch. Probably my favorite fantasy series so far that I've read. This was also one where I read the first 2 in 2018, and then I purposely put this one off because I was like saving it for a rainy day when I was like sad or something, and then I didn't actually end up like reading it and stuff. But 2020 will be the year that I read Republic of Thieves because I know I'm going to love it. All right, number 11 and number 12 are, do you set reading goals? And if you so, how many books? And then number 12 is any other reading goals. Let's see. I set my reading goals to 52. I know I'm going to hit it. I just do like 1 for each week, so I know I'm going to hit it and just feel good about myself like halfway through the year or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to defer you to my other videos. Well, at least the 2020 reading goals video, because It kind of takes care of these questions and a lot more depth than I'm going to right here. All right, so there you guys have it. Those are my books for the New Year's resolution tag. I'm going to go ahead and tag Kara at Wild Book Garden, Jenna at Bibliofilth, and Chris at Chris's Bookish Cauldron. I really enjoy their channels. I'd like to see some of their answers for these questions as well, so I'll leave their links down below. Definitely do me a solid, go check their channels out, and if you like them, go ahead and subscribe to them. So yeah, that is my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys liked the answers. Leave some comments down below if you've read any of these books or heard about them, anything like that. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. And if you have any any reading bookish resolutions that you're going to be doing in this first year of the new decade, leave some comments down below about that as well. Always glad to hear kind of what everyone else sort of up to or has plans for and stuff. Just trying to like find like unique ideas, everything like that. Definitely go check out my Twitter, Instagram, website, and the Etsy shop. If you like, bookish / Viking things made of wood, including bookmarks. I know I should like have some on hand that way I can like show them, but that's like on the other side of the room in a drawer, and I'm too lazy to go get them. But whatever your resolutions are for the year of 2020, whether they're successful or not, always remember, read victoriously.